Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here with my Flosstube update number 361. Happy Thanksgiving. Almost. We have a few more days till Thanksgiving, but you know, it's the preparation weekend, and yeah. My my older sister and I, we had packed things up for moving, preparation for moving. But so we packed up pretty much everything from our kitchen, and of course we didn't anticipate the house, being on the market for so long. And so now Thanksgiving is coming up, and we decided, well, in order to try to, do something to bring to the meal we're having at my younger sister's house. But so we decided we need to buy like a little cutting board and a knife, so we have something to work with in preparation. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be making what I call Bob and Larry salad. It's a pretty common thing. It's a kind of a typically Mediterranean recipe. A friend of mine told me about it. He had it first in Hungary, I think. And so the Hungarian name was something like Chopska. I'm probably saying that wrong. I may be saying a cuss word in whatever language. But anyway, the way he had tasted it, it had like onions and olives, and it's basically a tomato, cucumber, feta cheese, olives, and onions. And I've seen recipes like with red onions and different kinds of olives, whatever. And I think the version he had sliced or diced olives. So I'd make it without the onion because I'm not an onion person. But I make it with, one tomato, one cucumber, hence Bob and Larry. For those of you who've seen VeggieTales, Bob the tomato, Larry the cucumber, Bob and Larry salad. But then, crumbled feta cheese, and I used like diced olives, typically diced or sliced olives, and that's it. And I guess some recipes I've seen like make an olive oil something or other dressing, and I don't even do that. The juice from the tomato and cucumber mixed with the feta cheese and olives, and I remember I used to take it to potlucks all the time, and I took it to one we had at work one time, and this lady was like, "Well, what's the dressing in there?" And I'm like, "There is no dressing. It's just I do the tomato cucumbers, just the juice from that, and the feta cheese and olives, and I put a little I think I put a little salt and pepper or something in it." And she's like, "But what's the dressing?" And I'm like, "There is no dressing. It's just the stuff that's in there, just the juice from the vegetables and stuff, But anyway, so it's very easy to make for this kind of thing. I think last year was the first time I took it to our Thanksgiving meal, but it went over very well. So yeah, I'm doing that again this year. The other thing, just another little life thing, is that I'm thinking about getting a laptop. I'm pretty much a Luddite when it comes to technology like this. As a matter of fact, I'm recording on my tablet, and it was something that I thought about when my younger sister, who she's a, what do they call it, an early adopter kind of thing. Something new comes out, and she's like, oh, she's on top of it right away. Like she has a smartwatch, and she has I don't know how many different kinds of tablets, and stuff like that, and all this stuff. So some time ago, I guess it was in 2009, because I called it a craptacular end to a craptacular year, because I had gotten laid off in early 2009. So that was one craptacular thing. And actually I had just bought a new bicycle. And I had put it on layaway, and then like a week or two later, I got laid off. So, but anyway, so yeah, so that was like, I think March was when I got laid off. And then when I went home for Christmas, I'm pretty sure it was a maintenance guy, this guy that had come in to work on my heater, on my furnace. I kind of think it was him, because I'm pretty sure it was somebody who had a key, because my apartment was on the second floor, so you can't like look in the window and see anything. So it had to be somebody who had a key. And I don't think it was the old men that worked, our maintenance guys, two little old men. I don't think it was either of them. Excuse me. But I came home from Christmas, and usually in the years past, I would like leave like a couple of days before Christmas and not come back till after New Year's. But this particular year, because I had been laid off earlier in the year, I had taken a gig doing some kind of Christmas something or other at the local country club. A guy I knew from the symphony had said, "Hey, you want to do this gig?" And it's like, "Yeah," because I could use the money. So I had come back like just right after Christmas to do this gig. And I came home, and the first thing I noticed was that my computer was gone. The computer and the hard drive from the computer I had, I think I just bought it in 2008, and it was gone. So I had to buy a new computer, and so I was like, well, do I get another desktop? Do I get a laptop? And I talked to a guy I guess at Best Buy about, the pros and cons of one or the other. And he said, the nice thing about a laptop, of course, they're very portable, but a desktop is more easily upgradable, and, you less a chance of, because you're not carrying it around, less of a chance of damaging it or whatever. And also the desktop I was looking at had like a terabyte of memory, so you could, and so I hemmed and hawed a while, but I went ahead and bought the desktop. And so, but now I'm kind of like thinking, yeah, I kind of want a laptop, just because, right now my desktop is out in the living room, and so I have to go out there when we're gonna. So I just would like something that I could, carry on with me, have a laptop, whatever. But so that's something I'm debating about, because everybody's having their Black Friday sales, so I might be looking into that. Anyway, so so I'm gonna have a little bit to talk about. So for WIPGO for this month, I had already finished the rabbits that were on my WIPGO board for this month, the November and July rabbits. I finished those as of last week. I had finished the July one, and the week before that I finished the November one. And then also, that was one of my secondary whips, and also the Starry Night number 6 was one of my secondary whips. And then the two that I chose as my primary whips, one of them is the Wayfaring Stranger that I talked about last time. That was a memorial piece for my dad. He passed away in 2022, and that was when I designed this memorial thing for him. And then one of the Year in the Woods patterns, the Bald Eagle, it was on my chart as a secondary whip because it was a new start, but because of my Sleepy Hollow debacle, I moved it up to my primary thing. So that was what my So I was working on the Prairie Schooler Starry Night. That was another one of my secondary whips. And the Wayfaring Stranger and the Bald Eagle. Those are my three projects this month. So Starry Night, I thought I could finish it last weekend, but Saturday was very busy and didn't feel like working on it a whole lot after my update. And then Sunday I worked on it some. So this is where I am now. So right now I'm finishing the bottom, the legs and stuff of the camel. There's a few more lines up here to finish the camel's body. And then there's the town of Bethlehem is here. And that is mostly backstitching. There's, a lot of, backstitching left to do. And some of it I can't do until, like, the wise man's little kind of headdress kind of thing is blue, but it has some backstitch lines in it. So I want to, do that stitching first. So I might do the backstitching for the city of Bethlehem. There's like a few individual stitches, and then the roofs and walls of the city here, and then there's backstitching that goes, kind of around it. And then there's some, individual backstitching, like the wise man's hands and things like that, and some design stuff. But I'm going to use a toile on the star, the big star here, and then there's some little backstitch lines here that indicate other stars. And then his headdress is the same gold color, but I might do that. Like this is going to be a toile because there's a little sparkle. This will probably be just the regular gold because it, I not necessarily do sparkle. And then the camel's nostril backstitched, and I think, can I put a stitch up for his eye? Oh no, his eye is like that blue color. But like these lines here, they're going to be like the reins of the camel. And so I think those are, I'm not going to do a toile on those as well. But then there's some backstitching and some design stuff here to make the design on this vase or whatever jar. And I think I'll probably go ahead and do that in a toile. But then there's some gold here on this little blanket thing on the back of the camel. And I'm probably going to do regular gold color, like it's a DMC 3820 or something like that. But anyway, so this, there's deceptively a lot of stitching. It's not very big, and it goes pretty quickly in a way, but there's a lot of detail in there. So. But I'm hoping to finish it, and then I just have one more, so we'll see how that goes. But that is, I showed you the pattern. Prairie Schooler, it's this guy right here. I've been working on it. So there's some blue in there, and yeah. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just finishing up the body of the camel down here, and then all the black stitching will be done. And it's just blue and gold in there, and then the back stitching. So, but one thing that happened is this needle minder. This is from Michael's, I think. Yeah, they had a few DMC brand needle minders, and this has a tiny magnet right here, and it has like a small silver colored magnet on the back of this little skein, and then the backing magnet is a little black magnet. Here, little tiny magnet. And last week, after I had done my update, I had folded up the fabric like this to keep the needle and everything from falling out, as I usually do. And then when I took it out, I was stretched out of my bed, I was going to stitch, and I took it out, and and the needle minder, kind of fell off, right? The front part of the needle minder. And I thought, oh, I guess I must have, when I was, unfolding the fabric, I must have jostled the thing, and, the magnet came off, whatever, right? And because I found the needle, dangling down, and I couldn't find the magnet, and I looked there on the bed where the guy had just taken it out, and so I was, feeling around, feeling like, kind of like along my body, because my body was, pressed down to the mattress, so I thought the magnet had rolled, and I couldn't find it, and I was, feeling around my blanket, or my pillows, my, whatever. Couldn't find it anywhere. And so I got up and I was looking around, and it wasn't there, and it wasn't on the floor. And so I kind of, shook out the blankets a little bit, and it wasn't there. I'm like, what the heck? And I came out here because I thought, well, maybe I knocked it off when I was packing up and putting, taking pictures and doing whatever. And so I was looking around on the floor because I thought, I don't want the dog to accidentally eat it, because she eats everything. And so I'm looking around on the floor, and I'm moving the chairs, and I'm moving the table, and I couldn't find it. I thought, what the heck? Did the dog already eat it? Did it, what happened to it? I couldn't find it, So that was Sunday that I was looking for, or maybe Saturday or Sunday that I was looking for it. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then at one point last week, on Friday, I think it was, I had my project bags there on my bed. I stitched lying on my bed most of the time. And my project bags slid off. And so they were, like, here's my bed, here's the wall, there's a little gap there. And they slid off, into that area on the side of the bed. And so, so I went around the bed, and I was picking up those two bags. And as I was coming out, I just happened to look to my right, at the edge of the bed, at the foot of the bed, and there was the little magnet just sitting on top of one of the blankets there. Like, I don't know how it didn't get knocked off by the cats, by me moving around the bed, whatever. I don't know. But it was sitting there, so fortunately I grabbed it. I'm like, yay, the dog didn't eat it, the cats didn't eat it. It's not lost under the bed or anything like that, so yay, bonus. So I will guard that with my life now. Anyway, so that is Starry Night. It's still not done. I was hoping it'd be done by now, but whatever. So the other thing I worked on was the first thing I worked on was Wayfaring Stranger, that I talked about last week. That I designed for my dad. So I did a little bit more. I finished the grass around the sheep. I have not done the sheep yet. And I just started on this river. I finished the words here last week. I had already finished those. But so right now I'm working on the river. And I did some of the words here because I had, a little bit of thread left. So I wrote over Jordan, right? I finished those two words. And it's coming along. It's very tiny, but I've done the 7 days that I set as my goal for this. I'm just straightening up the fabric because it's a little sagging. But yeah, so I finished the grass. I've just got the sheep holes there to put the sheep in. But I wanted just to do something different, so I was working on the river here. And like I said, I did some of the words just because of the thread I had left on this part. So I'd like to finish writing the words, and then eventually, there's just a lot to do. Because it doesn't look very big, but it's, it's a lot of stitching just because it's 1/2 on this very tiny count of fabric. I don't know if it's 46 or whatever, I don't know, but it's very tiny. But so anyway, so I've done 7 days on that. and it'll probably take me another 7 or 8 days or more to finish it. But like I said, I have, 7 days on my current project will take me to about 3 days of the month left after my other 7 days. So I'll have 3 days to work on whatever by the end of the month. So maybe I'll finish the Starry Night pattern, and maybe I'll do more work on Wayfaring Stranger, or maybe I'll do more work on this my other WIPGO project. So this was a new start from this series by Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods, and this was the number 7 July pattern. This is the one that I got them wrong, in the wrong order. Because this is number 8 and this is number 7, and so the bald eagle, these two should be switched. And this is the number 9, the woodpecker. Anyway, so this is the bald eagle. This is 2 days of stitching, so I have 5 more days. Counting today's 3rd day, so I don't know. But yeah, so I did this pattern calls for molasses, and there's a lighter color, hazelnut. This lighter color here, and then the rest are DMC colors, the trees and the whites and grays, and this other there's a 310 here, and these other colors here. But so I did the dark part of this wing, and then I went ahead and started on the head, just because I wanted to get more of the eagle done. So I have the black eye and nostril here still to do, and then finish this on the neck here, this gray color, and then move on to more of the body. But this is the edge of the barn owl. So right here, the border comes down right between them, and I hope I calculated correctly to allow for that. I kind of want to do more of the border just to get, to make sure it fits in there. Because part of it, it goes, back and forth this way, right? And so I think that's correct. It goes from here, it goes out, and then here and out this way. And so I'm hoping it fits right here, because there's like one square between this border and the design, because on the chart, this is like right up at the edge of the chart, right? So any gap here is just what the person chose to put there to frame it, right? There's a little gap here, and and a little gap here, and a little gap here. But this is the edge of the pattern, this line of the wing. And so like I said, this is the edge of the pattern. So there's just one square between the edge of the pattern and this border. And so I'm hoping that this is in the right place as far as that border is concerned. But yeah, so anyway, that's 2 days, Thursday and Friday, with the bald eagle. So the other thing I wanted to mention was that I did get a little bit of mail. I had a little bit of haul. I have the festive forest and up on the rooftop stockings for the Jingle Ball, and I have the up on the rooftop threads are all, I think they're all DMC, and festive forest is a combination of DMC Week Star Works. There's like 3 Week Star colors, three Cottage Garden samplings colors, and some the rest of Roxy Floss colors. And so I had talked about last week. I got the Roxy Floss colors, and I have one of the Week Star Works colors, but the other two I had trouble finding them. But I got them from Fat Quarter Shop. I checked their inventory, and they had, this is Cardinal and this is River Otter. So these colors, that's right, yeah. These are for Festive Forest. And then the Cottage Garden threads, they're Australian, and I had trouble like figuring out where do I order them from. And this one is from Fat Quarter Shop. This is Blackwood. So there's 2 more colors, Gum Nut and Woodstack, that are Cottage Garden thread colors. And Cottage Garden Threads does have a website, but it's, they're in Australia. And so I was looking at the prices, and the threads, are like 5 something. So the 2 threads would have been $11, not quite $12, but the shipping would have been another like almost 10, $9.50, something like that. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. If I can find them here in the States, I might go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'll just use the DMC alternatives that are listed in there. So, when I ordered from Fat Quarter Shop, I didn't put the notify me on there. I don't know if I could even find it. I don't remember. But anyway, so Woodstack and Gum Nut are the other colors that I'm still looking for. Like I said, otherwise I'll just use the DMC alternative. Somebody had posted a picture of Festive Forest already finished, and they had just used the DMC alternatives on there. It had used the DMC thread, so it was completely finished. But it's pretty big, good size. It's like 300 stitches wide, I think. So, yeah. If I had nothing else to do, I guess I could have done it, but, so I think I'm going to do as much as I can before the Jingle Ball. But how much I do, just, we'll see. Maybe I'll use those 3 days at the end of the month to work on Festive Forest. I don't know. So next month, I'm going to be working on the Raccoon, which is another one of these. I had started it, I think, like Mania one year or something. But I had just 2 tiny little, or maybe just 1 tiny little flower in the corner. And so the Raccoon, it's technically a whip because it's technically been started, but it has very, very little on it. But I'm hoping, because my goal for that is 7 days, that I'll be able to make a substantial progress on that pattern. But we shall see. And then I could also do the December Rabbit and the other Starry Night pattern. Anyway, I think that is all I've got this month. My sister and I are going to another symphony concert tonight, so I'll be doing that later on. And I think that's it. So I'm hoping that, like I said, I've got a few more days on the Bald Eagle. And then those 3 days at the end of November, we'll see what transpires. Otherwise, that's it, I think. So I will see you next week. I am going to go ahead and do a video after Thanksgiving, because it's just, it's just our family, and we're all here in town. So it's just, by Saturday we'll all be all done. So I will see you next week. if you have family coming over, I hope you all have fun. And have a good Thanksgiving. If you are here in the States and you celebrate Thanksgiving, that everything goes well, and hope you don't have any cooking disasters or anything like that. And so yeah, I will see you next week. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.